What's up, everybody, and welcome to the official PlayStation podcast of the KT Data Network. We are the LittleBigKast. It's true. On today's show, Drew educates us on the merits of 4-year-old tech time. Rachel gets romantic with Borderlands.
Always.
Robin gets in touch with her metal soul. And Jeff runs with swords. All this and more on episode 42.
It's a dangerous one.
Welcome, everybody.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the LittleBigKast. My name is Jeff Hawks.
Hi, Jeff Hawks.
And with me, as always, the powerful Mr. Drew Tyler.
Thank you. Hello.
Me, the pleasurable Jeff Hawks. The indispensable Robin Hazlett.
Wow, I like that.
And the powerhouse herself.
Ooh.
The powerhouse, ladies and gentlemen, Rachel Hernandez.
Rachel Dynamite.
Hernandez.
So welcome, everybody. This is episode 42. This is our first time having our stream up on Twitch.
Yes, I believe it is.
This is a new thing for us, so we'll be filling this out. I think I'm pretty excited.
Me too.
Pretty excited to be up here.
I like this.
We have a lot of things kind of in the works for our Twitch streams, both independently as individuals and communally. Communally? Is that correct? Did I say that correct? Communally? Communally?
Together.
Communally. Togetherly as the LittleBigKast, whatever it is. I graduated college once, guys.
Can you believe it so far?
You're so learning.
Shocking. So yeah, it's been a big week. I am excited to be back with you guys. First of all, it's always a pleasure to chill with you, lovely folks, and so excited to be on the Twitches with our friends far and near. But let's get it kicked off, guys.
Let's do this.
Every week we kind of go through what we've been doing, what we've been playing, and talk about a little bit of what life has thrown at us over the last week. So let's kick it off with Rachel.
What has life thrown at you?
Me.
What has life thrown at your face this week?
Well, okay, so my boyfriend had said he picked up Borderlands. As soon as he said it, I was like,
One or two?
Oh.
Here we go. 2.
Okay.
Good boy.
So, I know, so...
Is that any redemption? I don't know.
A little bit.
And he was like, well, I'm going to get you Borderlands 2 for your computer. So that's what we've been doing, is we've been playing Borderlands. Nothing brings a couple closer together than shooting bully mons.
Yes.
Than shooting bully mons and psycho midgets.
It's true.
And renaming
So
them.
it's great. He's my one-shot sniper assassin, and I'm his beast of a gunzerker.
That is
Oh yeah.
that is so damn
that's-
romantic.
Isn't it?
That is adorable.
So,
That's like the power couple. It's
The
like you need the
Gunzerker's
sniper and you
dual-wield,
need the
right?
shotty.
yes,
The Mexican midget.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's
All
His
right,
name
all
is
right.
Salvador.
His name is Salvador.
I'm not saying it offensively. That's
Get it right.
it's a game that has like they call the midgets in the game. I'm not.
Yeah,
It's true.
Yes.
I had a really hard time because I just loved the siren so much. I wanted to be a siren again, but I decided to
Gunzerker.
break through and do something different, and it's completely
Okay.
different.
Wow.
It's weird.
So you guys started at 0 then, and are you working through the whole thing
He started
together?
a little bit before me, and he was actually. I wanted to play yesterday, but I was like, no, I shouldn't. I don't want to level up ahead of him. But then I found out he played without
That
me.
jerk.
I
Whoa,
know.
whoa,
So
You know,
Whoa.
this
Ooh,
guy
trust
keeps
issues.
Not
like putting
cool.
out like he gets close to redemption and then just
He
Pulls it right
he
back
says
out.
all we did was talk smack on him last episode.
We
but
did.
I told him I would only say positive things this time.
Well, you thought that you were saying a positive thing,
I know,
and then
my
he
bad.
realized that he made a terrible mistake.
No, he's only 2 levels ahead of me, so I'll catch up.
But the fact that they're
catch
playing
up.
together, that's good. That's
It's
healthy.
nice.
So is that
Yeah,
Valentine's
redemption.
Day present?
That was Valentine's Day present, actually. So that was my weekend. I'm
couples that game together stay together.
It's true.
Wow.
That is very true.
So that's the way to my heart, is to give me candy and play video games with me. I enjoy the little things in life.
It's good. It's good.
Those are big things.
Yeah,
That's
not
vital
bad.
for functioning.
it is.
It's not bad.
Yeah, and then I played a little bit of Contrast. When you guys were all playing Destiny and I wasn't playing Borderlands with him, I played a little bit of Contrast, which is our indie game next week. Next week?
Next week.
Next week.
Next week is
Next week.
contrast. Yeah.
I am excited for contrast.
So I
Yes.
started that
Fun.
one a little bit, and it's going to be fun. So we'll talk about that a little bit later when we get into the indie game.
Cool.
Very cool. Drew.
So my week has been same as anything, right? I'm just going out and doing things. However, the biggest triumph in the last month, 3 date nights in 3 weeks.
Wow.
What?
Yeah, I know.
There's time
How?
for that.
We didn't play games though. We don't play games to stay together. That doesn't
okay.
work with us. We did go see Fiddler on the Roof, which was pretty awesome. A little community theater that does some really great theater. Went and saw that, so that made things good. On the nights when we're not, doing date night and other things, homework, etc., grading papers, as you will. I stay up late and play Destiny. Like last night, I stayed up till 2 a.m. playing Destiny on the PS3. So I feel alone. I feel like I'm in my own little silo. Like,
tower.
But you're leveling up. That's what matters. I
am
was
leveling up.
playing.
Yeah.
I
think you messaged me on the party, but I was like, I didn't get it.
You were just depressed and you're like, I don't want to hang out with you guys.
Someday I'll be back on the floor, but no, that's what I did a lot of that. And then at my house, overall gaming wise, my girls pulled out the Wii. Well, we pulled out the Wii for them, and they've been playing
antique?
Wii bowling. Yeah, the antique. Right? They pulled out Wii bowling, and so my 3 girls have all been like bowling like 4 or 5 games a day. Like the little tiny tech time that we give them, that's what they want to do. Want to play Wii?
How do you keep? Okay, pause. Time out. How do you keep tech time from turning into something like just insane that makes your children go nuts?
Oh,
Because let me
I'm
just
with you.
tell you a story.
I'm with
I
you.
imagine
Can I
losing
throw
her
a story
shit.
in right here?
Yeah.
Okay, I have a 4-year-old daughter, right? That's fairly well known. If you've been listening to the stream
Sure,
for a
yeah.
while, you know that I have a 4-year-old daughter. Today, she kind of lost her mind a little bit. My wife's been kind of sick in the mornings, and so to kind of give her a break, it's iPad time, right? But what has been happening recently is when it's time to take the iPad back and say it's time to be a big girl and do your big girl things.
Right.
It's like
horns come out.
like these horns come out, and she becomes like a legitimate nightmare. Not even like
Yes.
today.
Yeah,
She
that sounds
today
right.
she
Yeah.
threw
Yes.
the iPad,
Oh,
which is like ass kicking time.
Yeah,
and
right.
I try really hard to be a good dad.
Now define good. That's
Let's
the
throw
problem. You gotta
technology.
define good.
I love technology. Like I am Kim.
You throw
I am
my
Kim
technology.
from Napoleon Dynamite singing about my love of technology. Don't throw my technology around. That makes me a little bit insane.
yeah.
So how do you manage
So how to
that,
manage?
Drew?
So I don't know that I don't think I have the horns coming out, but we certainly see a very much of a like, give it to me, right? If you cut them off or you take it away from them, they get angry. They get angry. So what we've tried to limit is by letting them know that they only get so much a day, right?
Right.
So you get your half hour a day, and that's actually not a whole lot. Did you know, like on an average, kids watch like 7 hours of some sort of tech? It's insane.
A day?
A day.
At what age?
Like this is a research from the Pew Institute about 2 years ago, and it is from about ages. What was it? It was like
Right out of the womb.
6 to 16 or something. It's like
Yeah,
it's that
Wow.
main-
like 6 to 12.
6 to 12, right?
But basically, when they get home from school, it's like
put in.
Leave it to the comm teachers to know
But
the answer to that question.
it's also defined screen time, so that means in front of a phone, in front of
Right.
a tablet, in
All
front
of
of
that.
anything.
All of that. And then if you add like the multiple screens, this one said like it goes up to like 10 and 12 hours a day if they're watching TV while working on a phone or an iPad. So
I think that's
So-
cheating. That's
It
fuzzing.
doubles.
That's fudging the numbers.
But we, at our house, we limit tech time. You get about a half hour a day, and then you get cut off, and you have to go do something else. And yes, the rage comes out. The kids get crazy. But I think the only way to mitigate it is to kind of step forward and just let. It's hard with kids, but to tell them you have 1/2 hour. You can watch one show, and when that show's over, I want to do another one, or
Right.
we can play one game. That kind of mitigates. You still get the.
Yeah, you still get the. But
That's
I
when you
wanna
say,
know what's next.
You take that rage outside. That's it.
In the
Let 'em go.
cold.
Play.
Go in the
Play with
cold.
Go out in
stick.
the cold, the white winter.
Yeah.
Survive in the grave.
should do a whole
with Liam
nother-
Nielsen.
Oh,
We should
yeah.
do a whole nother
Like-
podcast just on like raising kids in tech, right? We
Yeah.
can do this. We
Yeah.
can do this. Yeah. That's it. That's my week. Wii bowling. This is what's crazy. Wii bowling. I used it as a carrot to get them to do their chores on Saturday morning.
Yeah.
So I came up and I was doing something here with somebody, and I told them, Mom's busy. Mom's busy. Mom's working on something. So you guys just take care of yourselves. Do all your jobs. When I come home, we'll play some Wii. So I got a text in the middle of whatever I was doing, and it was the bean. She had texted me and it said, "I got my pro ball." She was so excited that she got her pro bowling ball because she'd been working on it all day, all
Cute.
night. So I
Her
had,
first
Unlocked.
achievement.
yeah, exactly.
The
That's
first
what,
road to a
I was
completionist.
amazed at
I
how
approve.
into it she was. She wanted to have pro ball. Her little sister got it before she did, and I lost mine. Every time I play with them, I'm sitting on the couch and I'm winging like this, and they're up there swinging it. So, man, it's a long week, but It's
That's
good.
Cool. That's good. Robin.
My week was fairly uneventful. As far as, well, I mean, it was Valentine's Day, so I read a book and went to sleep. That was my Valentine's Day.
Nice,
It's like,
nice.
yes! It's like, it's self-love day. But when we were talking last cast and you were mentioning like, oh yeah, well, Double Fine and Costume Quest and remember Brutal Legend, I started playing Brutal Legend again.
Oh, awesome.
I was just like, this is still the best game. I love Jack Black.
It's so funny. You guys, obviously, neither of you two have picked it up yet.
Brutal Legend is just, it's
sorry.
fantastic. Like, me and my metalhead self, I'm just like, oh, come to me, be one
Just
with
this outrageous metal humor that
Yeah.
is
That's funny.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, not my world.
But yeah, that was my painfully boring. I've given 3 tests in the past 2 days. So
Okay.
That'll keep you busy.
yeah, I've got things.
You are a professor, so there's a certain expectation. Like,
They actually
you
want me
can
to do
only be
work.
so exciting, right?
I get
Isn't that part of like a rule when you sign
You
up?
kidding?
Like,
No.
you're like, oh, you're only allowed Simon and Garfunkel concerts from now on. And Robin,
Yeah.
on every level, you're just shattering these ceilings.
Yeah.
These glass ceilings.
Throw me in the mosh pit. I will be happy then.
People are like, "Did you hear about Robin Hazlett? She gives us tweet breaks in class."
Oh yeah,
And she went to a Silverstein concert. Oh, she's so cool.
Hi, Dean. He's like,
rock
I didn't
star.
expect to see
not
you
a
here. I'm like,
professor.
I like music too.
That's
My
funny.
students are like, Drew eats so much damn candy. He just eats candy.
Did you see all the candy he's got? Have you gone in his
There's a
office?
box of marshmallows
Yep.
in his office.
That's my life.
They're not sure whether to like love it or be afraid of it.
I'm all hopped up every time I get
You're
in
just
the class.
waiting for that threshold to just break. Like he's just gonna snap and just
It's coming. It's coming.
Drew just tells his students, he's like, I've got candy down in the basement of the library. Come down to my basement.
There's no windows and the door's locked.
The door's locked nice and tight.
Steal you.
Oh, that's funny. So my week has been, it was an interesting week. I went to a ska show that made me feel like I was
yes.
back in high school.
I was gonna
Yes,
say, I didn't
Mr.
know they
I'm
were playing.
sore.
No, okay, so I had worked out the day before and I'd had a leg day. I'd had a leg day. So I could barely walk. I could barely move. And I kind of hurt my back a little bit. I don't know if you guys remember. You probably don't know. But in the summer, I threw my back out pretty badly. And so I had a leg day last week. I hurt my back a little bit. So I was kind of like walking. It was rough. So we show up at this show. It's, let's see, Authority Zero, Real Big Fish, and Less Than Jake.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff.
So we go in, and I'm with an old friend of mine, and we're at the back of the show, and he's like, we should go forward, but if your back hurts, let's not. And I was like, yeah, my back kind of hurts. Let's just hang back here. And like 3 minutes later, I was like, I feel like a old freaking lame tard. Like it's
Nothing wrong
it's
with
time
that.
to move forward. So we go in, we get to the mosh pit, and I was like, I'm just gonna stay on the edge. I'm not gonna go in because I can barely move at this point, and like just jumping up and down was killing me. And that didn't last long. So it was great, man. Like. Real Big Fish came on and played, and I felt like I was playing like a Tony Hawk's Pro Skater game. Like that is the music of my junior high school gaming experience, and I loved it. I loved it. Like there's something about, and I'm not that old. I'm 30, but there's something about the music that you went through high school with that, for whatever reason, like there's this connection to that, and you can't help but just get wrapped up into it. So it was a great show. I had a lot of fun. Gaming wise, surprise. I mean, Destiny.
What?
But
Every time.
But here's what's different this week is so
only
the
played
Crota
1
hard
hour.
mode raid, right? Crota hard mode.
Crota hard.
Let me explain something to you guys.
Hard
It's
Crota.
freaking hard as crap.
Oh, I believe
It
it.
is
Yeah.
difficult.
I believe it.
So
What about Mr. 25 minutes?
KT and myself and several friends battled our way through the raid.
Troopers.
Got to Crota. Spent like an hour and a half fighting Crota, and I was like, you know what? I want to run. Go ahead.
Is Crota the boss?
Crota's the boss. Crota's the raid boss.
Because
I thought it was the land.
For those who don't know,
who don't
Crota
play Destiny.
Crota
Rachel's the
sounds
only one
very
that doesn't
similar to
know.
Scrota. It is not what you think it is. Crota is a hive boss. So
Okay.
if you remember the hive,
I do.
from
I do
the
remember
brief
Hives.
time you spent
The
with
one that
Destiny.
I fought. Okay.
Okay.
it is the boss of the raid.
Okay,
It's the
cool.
hardest fight in the game.
We're good.
On hard mode, it's brutally difficult. And typically you can... So you can't only beat it with a hunter. But rule of thumb says you can only beat it with a hunter.
Oh.
I beat it as the sword bearer. So in this fight, Crota's in the center. You have to make Crota go down. So everybody shoots at Crota. He kneels down. And then you have a person who picks up a sword and goes and kills Crota with the sword. The sword is the only thing that can damage Crota.
Oh.
It's the hardest job to do in the game, is to run the sword bearer.
Wow.
So much pressure.
I did it as a warlock, not a hunter, a warlock, and we beat him. And I'm not trying to brag. But I've never been prouder in a video game. Like when we beat him, I was like, yeah. I was like yelling in my basement. I was like, I gotta be quiet. I got a 4-year-old asleep.
Guess what I did?
I got a 4-year-old asleep and a pregnant wife asleep. I can't be doing this. I can't be doing this. Gotta be quiet.
Step outside.
And then I went up and woke up Claire, and I was like, I beat Crota as a sword bearer. She's like, I don't give a shit.
That's what I would expect it to be like.
But I had to tell someone.
That's
You
great,
could
honey.
have texted me.
I had to
away.
tell someone. It was 2 o'clock in the morning, Drew. Otherwise, I would have.
No, I was up at 2.
So
Doing
it
the same
was
thing.
wildly.
I was doing the baby version. I'm just trying to kill the
little witch
little
guy at
guys,
the end.
It was wildly satisfying, and
I
just
bet.
like reaffirmed. I get why you two aren't playing it, but dude, I'm telling you guys, raiding in Destiny is awesome. That's true, but
It's been like 7 months.
I know, and I can't stop. It's awesome. So, if you're watching our Twitch stream right now and you would like to be watching me play Destiny, if you don't have anything better to do, I stream Destiny most nights on my channel at Mr. Hawks, MRHOX. So, feel free to join. Also, I've been watching a new television series, which I wanted to tell you guys about. It's called Peaky Blinders.
I've heard.
Have you heard of it?
I've heard of it.
No.
Because I wore a cabbie hat to class one day. You know, one of those, and out of the blue, one of the kids in the back room was just like, "Hey, do you watch Peaky Blinders?" I'm like, "No."
'Kay.
They do this, and he goes on this whole tirade. I'm like, "They put razor blades in, and they chop people up." I'm like, "I prefer the Newsies look. We just
Throw
sing."
razor blades and chop
I was
their
a
eyes.
journalist.
Yeah.
That's why they're the Peaky Blinders.
I just went to Fiddler
So-
on the Roof.
Those are the Peaky Blinders. Yeah.
Peaky Blinders. It is fantastic. It is so. As you guys know, I'm a history nerd, right? So this is a post World War I, just before World War II. Winston Churchill is like a police commissioner at this point. He has not become the prime minister of England yet, and basically you have these gangs that have formed that are running bookies and horse races and gambling dens and prostitution brothels, and it is fantastic. The main actor, his name is Tommy. His name's Tommy, and he plays Scarecrow in Batman Begins. It's very good. You guys should all watch it because it's fantastic. And that's been my week, guys.
Fantastic. What we did it. What a week we all had.
I know.
Yay.
And once again, we find ourselves sitting around the table discussing kids, life, games.
Yes.
And we're stoked to have you guys here with us. So
Yay.
we want to also keep you guys in the know. Make sure you know what's going on. So we're going to kick off a little bit of news with Drew.
It's the news time.
And hopefully some music plays.
Some beats. So I'll give you the news. I'll start it off with number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. We get 5. I can do 5 newses.
5.
Yeah.
So number 1, this is a kind of a cool deal. The Order 1886 was leaked in full on YouTube, and so that's the PlayStation 4 exclusive side, right? So it's kind of a cool deal to see it. I did not watch much of it, but there was some question like, is this really real? Is this the right length of time? Somebody said they beat it in just 5 hours. I guess that's what the video is. So
Speed running, yeah.
and I think it was kind of like it could be done. So the info about the actual length, I think it said was closer to maybe 7 or 8 hours. I think it said, and then on hard mode, or if you did like every,
Rachel, 12.
it was like close to 12. But if you skipped things, they said you could probably do it in 5 if you skipped some things.
Right. So NeoGaf actually posted several different game times from several different people that have played through the entire thing. On hard, they're jumping between 10 and 14 hours. On normal, they're looking at about 9 hours. So it's been interesting to watch this because people were freaking out. Like,
Yeah.
how dare you try to sell me a game that's only 5 hours long for $60? And they were losing it. Right?
I'm up with
Like
that.
people
Yeah.
do.
And everybody, there's a very
short
vocal
It's too long.
sense of discontent, I think, obviously on the internets, but especially in the gaming world, there's a sense of entitlement. I personally, like, I have no problem with a game that tells a good story in 5 hours. 5 hours is a long time.
I still have a price limit, though. Like, I like a good story in 5 hours.
So didn't we have a conversation about this, though, like last year, about, like, what's your time worth?
Right, exactly. For me, at 5 hours, I'm going maybe $35. For 60, I've got to get 12 hours. And I think we talked about that, yeah.
Yeah, and also at the same time, like, these guys are known for creating PSP games.
Right.
Like, they did God of War, they did smaller mobile-ish games, at least for, PSP and Vita. But I don't know if they have stronger stories in them. So I'm okay with games being smaller. I don't need it to eat my life.
Right.
And being able to interrupt and not go full, like, addict into it. So I think that's a big thing for me.
Right. I feel like replay value on this game, too, will be, like... I feel like it'll be more up there, because you just want to be on a ship over and over and over again.
From what I played,
Borderlands. A little bit I played. Yeah, no, I'm playing it again.
Like, we've, like, leveled it for, like, maybe, like, 10 hours, and then you go into the second round.
Again, and then you're a gunzerker.
See, and I think, for me... I think this is kind of exactly what the PlayStation 4 has needed for a little while now, is a really good narrative-driven story. And one of the interesting things is in kind of response to this, someone put up a video of one of the Last of Us speedruns, and they beat it in 3 hours.
Yeah,
like the Last of Us can be beat in 3 hours, front to back. And
whoever did that, thank you.
and they were like, what you're not understanding is, like, you get out of these games whatever you're going to put into it. Like, if you want to explore, you could probably spend a solid 10 hours in this world. And for me, like, Destiny's honestly, like, the only game I've played in a long time where I'm like, I don't really care about story because the gameplay is so fun. Everything else that I've played and that I'm typically drawn to is very heavily story driven.
Yeah.
Whether that's the goofy, like, weird story of Borderlands or the very serious, very heavy story of The Last of Us. Like, I love a good story. Mass Effect story and character building is what draws me into that world. So if I get a game that is 8 hours long, that has a really compelling story and that makes me care about what happens, I'm fine with paying $60 for 8 hours. And I pay $8 for an hour-long movie.
But it's true. It's true.
Yeah, let's not talk about it. I don't like
No.
it so much.
Good thoughts all around. I got more news. No.
More news.
So here's another news. You may have seen this, that Sony abandoned the Last Guardian trademark, and then they said, "Whoops, sorry, we didn't." Right? So it kind of like developed over a day or two that somebody noticed that the trademark had slipped, and so they were like, "Oh, it's sorry." I broke it. So they thought that it was abandoned. There was this kind of kerfuffle of like, we haven't had this for...
Update 1, update 2, update 3, update 4.
Yep, and there they are. And so it was just like, oh, wait, they did this, they lost it a couple of years ago, and it just slipped their mind. And so their update 4 was basically, they just filed a request to get it back again. So Last Guardian is kind of one of those floating ethereal games that has never...
Right, so Shadow of the Colossus is arguably the best game that was released on the PS2, right? Like, it's renowned as this just revolutionary, incredible game.
Everyone knows what it is.
And The Last Guardian is that studio's next game, right? Studio Japan's next big thing. It was announced in 2009, and then just crickets.
Right.
Like, that's a long time to not hear anything about what's going on.
Yeah.
Right. So every year there's speculation, at E3, are we going to hear anything about The Last Guardian? At E3, we're going to hear about The Last Guardian. And there's been rumors that it's been canceled before. So when this came up, and it was like, oh, the trademark expired.
Gone.
So I guess it's over. I was like, finally. Can we stop beating
like there's
this
some
dead
form
horse?
of conclusion.
Yeah. We're talking about something that... Who knows? Like, at this point, the people that are waiting for it and that are excited for it, their expectations are at a 40 out of 10.
Right. Yeah.
Like, on a scale from 1 to 10, they're at a 40. And they're like, it's just going to be amazing. And all that it's going to be is just a big pile of disappointment.
Because it's been so... Yeah, that's true. That's true. I can feel that. So I think there's just, I mean, that's good journalism right there. Is you follow things like that and you wait for that. You get a little alert that's like, oh, trademark expired. Okay, here's my story. And you kind of chase that anyway. All right, moving on. This one is an interesting little story that I guess I'm not really familiar because I haven't used sub accounts.
Yeah,
but I'm assuming that you have a master account with your PlayStation account.
Think of it like parents and children.
And then you have your children have their own account and allot them certain
Right, so you
ability,
can't
buy
change
things,
things
do things.
within-
Limit tech time.
Like with your PlayStation username, your PlayStation account, like you can't change your username. So if your username is Dick Breaker, like you're Dick Breaker for life, right? You're Dick Breaker for life.
Yep, sadly.
And up until recently, you couldn't
be?
change from a sub account to a master account. So if you got your account when you were 12 and your parents put a protective password on it and made it a sub account, you stayed a sub account forever. Now you're able to change that to a master account. So if you were to purchase a new PlayStation 4,
you can grow up.
you can
nice.
you can use your account as the master account rather than a sub account.
I changed my name.
Cool. That's a cool upgrade though, and it seems like could have come up with that years ago. So it seems like it's a little not late in coming, but finally, I think is the end. Finally.
Hey guys, I think I have an idea.
Hey. News number 4: if you like to spend money, and who doesn't?
We all do.
Critics' Choice sale is up, and the Oscar sale, which is going through Monday the 23rd. Look at this list. I mean, you've got all the Call of Duties, the Child of Light, the Dark Souls, Destinies, and all of these, like, for PlayStation Plus members are like 60% off. Like, it's another dynamite sale with tons of cool stuff.
You know, you just wait until I buy something. That is the trigger.
Right.
You wait until I buy something because
Then
one week later, it's going to be on sale.
Sad but true. Good list. Anything you guys are looking at on that you're...
I like Child of Light.
Child of
You
Light,
guys are super pumped on it.
It's
So
good.
Child of Light's cool. Dragon Inquisition.
We never did Child of Light as a
indie game,
right?
I thought we did.
Did we?
I thought we
I
did.
feel like we did too.
I think we did. It was early on, but we did.
It was like that was when we called it a
could've.
non-indie game. That was like the first non-indie, didn't we?
I just
it was
thought you guys
EA
were
art.
rich about it.
We did it.
No, Ubisoft. It was Ubi.
I'm a dad.
Ubi art. I'll redo it. Let's do it again.
We do it again.
Let's do
We'll
it
put it in the list. I'm interested in
yours.
Dragon Age. I've heard a lot of good things about Dragon Age, so that would interest me.
Lots of good things about
And
Dragon Age.
Hohokum's awesome. Liftrazers is awesome.
Love Hokum, yeah.
Keep going. Ollie Ollie's good. Never
The Outlast Bundle of Terror.
Maybe Stick of Truth.
Walking Dead,
South
Wolf
Park
Among
Stick of
Us.
Truth for
Season
some
passes for
giggles.
$7 for Wolf Among Us. Yeah, it's good. And then they also have a bunch of movies. So Oscar nominated type
Cool.
of movies that are
Movies?
extra.
I remember I
extra
used to
cheap.
watch those.
Yeah, when we had time. So there's number 4 for your newses, and then for
If
your
you're in the mood for a feel-good family movie, 12 Years a Slave is for sale for $9.99.
do it. Last bit of news here for
Nothing
us
brings
before
the
we
family.
kill the news is the fact that Ubisoft announced on this was a phone call that they had with their investors, and they just not announcement. It's more like just people parsing out what they could out of the conversation, and noticed that they talked about a new Assassin's Creed coming next year, and a Rainbow Six Siege, and a Division, Tom Clancy Division coming. So it's just more of that journalism, kind of like just digging deep and finding out what. Oh, they talked
This
about
is
this.
what's here.
Yeah. So, anyone have anything to add about that? Neat. Is this the Rainbow Six where you can like? They talked about it at E3 the other almost a year plus ago, where you don't have all the tools. You almost have to use each other's eyes to talk about where you are in the building. And
I think
how
so,
you're
yeah.
converging like that. They announced that a long time ago at E3. So
It'll be
it.
the 2 Tom Clancy games. Sorry guys, I've been kind of sick, so my voice is
Thanks
weird.
for bringing it here.
I'm not gonna get you sick.
Jeez.
Bubble space.
Stop licking my mic.
But yeah, the 2 Tom Clancy games are both supposed to be huge. I am a little apprehensive, honestly, about the Assassin's Creed game. You know, after
I think it's gonna be a comeback.
Unity's launch.
I
Do you think
it's
so?
gonna be like Unity 2.0.
Well, it would almost have to be.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, they have to do
They
something
don't
to
even play
redeem
it.
Yeah,
the
it's gotta be-
microtransaction for fuffle unfinished game.
No
like that.
one trusts them anymore after
Right.
that. I feel like everyone I
gotta
talked
do
to, everyone I talked about Assassin's Creed Unity was like, don't touch the series.
But yet,
Don't.
but all the ones before that were fantastic. So
Most of the ones before
most people
were
give them-
fantastic.
Okay, most good.
And Rainbow Six be cool, just because like shooting,
Because
shooting, and everyone loved Rainbow Six Vegas.
Everyone loved Vegas.
Everyone. So that'll be good.
Yep.
we lost our switcher upstairs, so I'm gonna run upstairs as I say that, my friends. I think I lost a switcher. Somebody's up
I heard
there.
him. I heard him crutching around.
Okay, I'm going to go double check while we go into something else. That, my friends,
on crutches
is the news.
Oh, yeah. Then we're going to pass it over to Rachel,
Me.
Miss Hernandez, for the new releases.
Your new releases for this week. What's today? The 18th? February 18th? 17th? 18th.
18th.
It is
We're gonna go with
February
18th.
For PlayStation 4, we have Dead or Alive 5, Last Round, Hand of Fate, The Order 1886, comes out February 20th. That's so soon.
I know, next week.
Paparazzi, Pillar, and Bert Rebooted. For PS3, Q-Bert will also be there. Treasures of Montezuma Arena, Trivial Pursuit Live, and then for Vita, we have Dead Man's Cross, and also Q-Bert Rebooted. Rebooted.
Oh, yeah.
And that's it. That's what we have.
Hubert.
And I think The Order is kind of the biggest one on there. People were talking about how it's like the only exclusive game to come out in a while.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about it, and I was like, yeah, actually.
So that's Friday, right?
Yeah.
That's Friday. That's pretty crazy. So I think the embargo date ends 16 hours before the launch of the game. So that's what, Thursday at 16 hours behind midnight, right?
Math.
So that morning.
4?
Just Thursday morning. That sounds good.
Yeah, Thursday morning. Just be on the Twitters.
Be on the Twitters on Thursday morning. Watch Metacritic. I'm excited to see what they get, though. Undeniably, I mean, in my mind at least, nothing can touch what I saw at CES graphically.
I'm imagining playing the game at CES, and it was like, it was enough. That teaser was like enough to make me want to play more of it. So,
I mean, we've talked
you're right,
in this game a lot about PT and like the quality of just everything, the way it looked in PT, right? Like you walk down the hall and look at the floor and you see the grain in the wood and how amazing that looked. Everything in The Order looks like that.
It's true, with like, more detail, if even.
Crazy.
I want to stare at people's pores.
Yeah, it looks beautiful. It looks amazing. So I'm very excited to see what they do with that. Look at
this carpet and that wallpaper. My God.
You know what's really bad is that is going to be me. I'm just going to be like, you can watch my character. It'll just be like on the wall. Like, this is great.
I just want to live in steampunk London.
Yeah.
And fight lycanthropes. What is the disease that's actually real that I always think lycanthrope?
Lymphoma?
Yeah.
No. It's like you know what I'm talking about? It starts with an L.
Yeah.
Lupus. Every time I hear the word lupus, I think of werewolves. You guys ever think of that?
Not so much. No, it's just you, dear.
Seriously?
Yeah, it is. Lupin, like Professor Lupin.
And he was a werewolf, right? That's probably why.
Probably.
But I hear lupus, without fail, I'm like, lycanthropes. Lycanthropes. Werewolves. I'm a huge nerd, but that's what I do. Anyway,
it's all good.
Drew's not here. So does anyone want to take his place for the catchy tune that he sings?
Nope.
No.
I'll try and do it like him. It's the indie game, it's the indie game of the week.
You can close your eyes, because he always does. It's the
indie game of the week.
Pretty good.
Is that Drew?
He's got to get into it, like the hair.
You had a little bit more vibrato than he does, so.
Yes, Drew, we know that you're right there.
Do you approve, Drew?
And we're going to make fun of you the whole time.
Right on. So the indie game of the week for this week was a Vita game, and only one of the crew owns a Vita. So Robin is going to be the primary. Go ahead.
To donate to our Vita process, you're more than welcome to.
Yes. Buy Drew a PS4 and buy the rest of us Vitas.
In the meantime, however, Robin was able to spend a little bit of time with Don't Die, Mr. Robot. I watched a little bit of gameplay on YouTube, but I want to kick it off kind of with just the story, what the kind of what the synopsis, I guess, of the game is. So it says, Don't Die, Mr. Robot is a fast-paced arcade action game that's big on fun and small on plot. It's not a lot of story there.
It's like an
the hook to this game is the scoring system. Each exploding fruit sets off adjacent fruits, creating crazy, satisfying chains, as well as looking and sounding awesome. Each explosion adds a multiplier to points scored with the chain. I'm dying.
Well, don't do it here. It's really messy. Gosh.
You'll reach nail-biting levels of tension, waiting until your fruit amasses on screen before you. Set one off, triggering a massive chain of explosions for maximum scoring. So, does that accurately describe your experience?
Yes, there is no story.
Okay.
And that's the fun part. It's a little arcade game. Highly addictive. Like, I'm sitting there on the stationary bike at Planet Fitness just like, oh my gosh, I need to beat this level. I need to beat this level. The fun part that you do is you can play it just like regular arcade mode and just like, oh, I'm going to get a high score. And then they do these things called remixes where you have a specific goal, like kill 20 enemies for a silver, kill 50 enemies for a gold. And then the next remix is something like get 15 exploding fruits. And what's really strange is that I think they could have substituted the fruits just for bombs. And it's like, why is there fruit? I don't see like the robot. There's a robot arm that drops you into the little area. Super colorful, highly like, it's a very fast twitch kind of game. But there's also this really fun thing that's like a danger multiplier. Like you get really close to the enemies and then you can see the little dude go, ee! Like, I'm really scared. This thing can be touching me. And then all of a sudden, bing! You get this little multiplier on the side. It's like the danger bonus. I'm like, I am so risky right now.
So do you feel like, I mean, when we did Resogun, right, we talked about how one of the appeals of the game was that it kind of had this old school flavor, like this old school arcade, like the same kind of feeling. Like you walk in, all you've got's a quarter, and so you don't really care what happens other than you just want to enjoy 5 minutes of gameplay. So was that your experience? Very
much so. It was, but it's unlike Resogun. Number one, it's Vita, and number two, it's much more retro graphics for it. Not a lot of like super polish to it like Resogun is. It's just like I want to see, like I wanted the little human to die on Resogun just because I could like see all the explosions going on. This one's like, pew, you died. I'm like, well, I did. So there's nothing more to say with it on that.
Very cool. So is it a game that you would recommend?
For the
Final verdict for the $4.99 price. Yeah, I would say it's a fair bet, and it's going to keep you entertained for a while because it's very simple mechanics, very simple gameplay, but what they do well. Okay. So it's very clean. You're not having to figure out all of these like crazy things like with the keepers and trying to understand what that is. They actually had a tutorial with it. So thank you. So overall, if you're a fan of arcade games, especially old school arcade games, then it makes sense to pick it up. Very much so. If you're not, probably a no. I'd pass on it if you don't want something very bite-sized. Okay, very cool. Right on. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of the LittleBigKast. This is episode 42, guys. That's pretty cool. It's a lot of episodes. Episode 42 for all of us. Episode number 1 for Twitch. Oh, yes. So if you joined us on Twitch, thank you for watching. Isn't that like the answer to everything in the universe is 42? Something like that. Yeah. Something like that, yeah. Why not? Guide. Yeah. Why not? So if you're watching on Twitch, we'd love for you to hit that little subscribe button or follow, whatever that button is. We think cool. Go ahead and keep in touch with us. Send us messages at LittleBigKast on Twitter, or you can email us, littlebigkast@ktdata.net. We also encourage you to just connect with us through our own personal social media sites. So we all talk. Yes. On Twitter, I am at Jeff Hawks. And I am at Pirate Rachel, the 3 instead of an E. Over here. And I am at Robin Hazlett. And the invisible Mr. Drew Tyler is at Night20 with a K. And we are the LittleBigKast, guys. He left, so we're missing one person. But thank you for joining us. And that's it, guys. Yeah. Adios. Deuces. Peace.